money. Couple of bettors. Couple of bettors.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Couple of Bettors podcast. So I think the first one went okay. Living and learning. So we just got back into town. As you can see, this is our new backdrop. So this is the Las Vegas Strip behind us.
The gamblers are in walking distance of unlimited numbers of casinos, so that's good. And one of them's pet friendly, so even Bernie gets to gamble on occasion.
Oh yeah, Bernie likes to party. And if you know Bernie, oof, look at this guy. You know he parties, right? He's ready for a margarita right there.
He got very drunk this night. Had a lot of tequila at the taco and tequila party. But I mean, look at how handsome he is with the little sombrero.
He's our little guy.
Sombrerito.
So speaking of partying, we have a new segment that we're going to introduce. It's called You Got Vegas. Okay, so a little backstory here. About 10 years ago, we were in town, and our friend Monkey, who lives in Las Vegas, was with us.
Shout out to Monkey.
Shout out to Monkey. And we were in Fremont Street. So those of you who have never been to Fremont Street at downtown Vegas, it's a little bit weirder down there. But it was probably about 7 p.m., so not very late. And
Well, you day drink here in Vegas.
And then Monkey was like, I don't feel that good. He's going to go to the bathroom. On his way, he starts puking in a fake plant in the casino. And then he continued to go into the bathroom. Didn't make it to the toilet. Was puking in the sink. So there's a guy.
The guy saw him puking in the sink and said, "Ho, you just got Vegas." And Josh was like, "He lives here." And the guy was like, "That's even better." And shortly after, he had a slice of pizza, felt a little bit better, but we have not let that go because that was the best story ever.
Puke and rally.
Yeah, puke and rally. Sorry, Monkey, we had to call you out on that.
So just this segment, You Got Vegas, is really going to be for anybody who's in town who maybe partied a little too much. This one is a great little headline we had here. Yahoo
So
News.
good looking.
So yeah, a woman was arrested at the airport, told officers it was because she was so good looking. Now, if you dig into the details here, she was leaving the Chili's, and if anybody's been to the McCarran Airport, there's the Chili's. It's really, you're waiting for the plane to take off. So she left a check and didn't pay it. So that's, you definitely had a few too many drinks. And then it says later on they found her. She was sleeping near the security checkpoint. So is she trying to leave? Is she coming? She going?
Yeah, Chili's is after security, so not really sure why she was back by security.
Yeah, she accused the officers of that they were perverts. So look, some people can't handle Vegas, right?
Right.
So that's
You Got Vegas.
You Got Vegas. Next, we'd actually like to get into a little bit of sports news for the week. So this one's called Let's Face It. We got a couple people that were in the news for different things.
I would like to start with my biggest problem I'm going to stick with. My boy, Tom Brady. He, he made a quote recently saying, "I'm 45 and everything's going to shit." Something along that.
I think he says, give me a break, I'm 45.
Oh, there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot. Okay. So he's definitely having some issues with his, model wife, Giselle. Yeah, this is what happens. I don't even know we're not sure if he's even allowed in the house right now, whatever that is. But because of this, he is the GOAT, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? He's got problems. This may affect his game. We'll talk about that later. But that is part of the news.
I personally actually enjoy this a little bit, which is kind of messed up because it makes him a little more human.
Yeah, well, just like where this picture came from, him being drunk after winning Super Bowl.
Love it.
The man was actually a human being for a moment, and I have 3 shirts with his face on it like that just because it's funny to look at, but actually pretty proud of him. You should have got drunk. You get to celebrate. But now he's got actual problems, and I want to see and hope that it affects his game because it's time to move on, Tom Brady. Get out of my life. I thought you were out. You're still in. Okay.
I get it. Yeah, so in the football world, kind of staying there, Russell Wilson got his big contract, so they restructured him. He's basically now on the hook with Broncos for the next 7 years.
Let's ride.
Let's ride. So who knows? What is that going to do to impact his game? I'm sure that's a little bit of an ease knowing that they made a big commitment to him. It wasn't Deshaun Watson money, which is weird, right? Like, who would you rather have on the team? Like, I would go
A man that can't play for the first 11 games
Yeah.
because of his sexual tendencies, or Russell Wilson.
a few massages. That's it. So anyway, that was a big deal. Lamar's still waiting on his contract, so he put a self-imposed deadline on for I think it is. So we're filming this on Thursday, right before the Bills game, which is why she's dressed like that. So I'm looking forward to.
He will
watching
not be
it.
dressed like
I won't be
this.
dressed in it.
That would be weird. It would just-
Why would you make her wear a jet?
And for those of you that do that, we still don't understand. Like, you shouldn't wear your team's jersey if your team's not playing. So
I agree. It's weird.
I don't do it.
But yeah, so Lamar, he doesn't have an agent, right? So a lot of these guys sometimes are representing themselves. They're saying, I don't want to pay away 15, 20%, 25% to an agent. I'll just do it myself. So he's like negotiating with the team directly, which is a weird thing. And he said Friday is the deadline. And I don't know what deadline means. He's not like going anywhere for them to get a contract for the year. Otherwise, he's going to play out this deal, and then in the future they're going to talk about franchise tags and all that stuff. So we'll see. But anyway, this might impact it, the money that Russell Wilson got. So we'll see about that. Other things in the news: tennis world. Serena, she did her best. She did way better than everybody expected at the U.S. Open, and she knocked off the number 2 seed. But then she ended up getting taken out. But it was a really good effort, and people love to see it. It's like one of those things where another one of the GOATs, that's on the screen here. If you haven't heard about Serena Williams, you live under a rock. And then Nadal got knocked out. I mean, that was a pretty
Crazy
big shocker.
world in the tennis game.
Yeah, I mean, apparently he had a little bit of like a stomach strain thing, like an oblique strain at some point. So whether or not he's 100% while he's going into this, but I think it was like the first time since 2004 or something like that he was knocked out that early. So that was a little bit of a shocker. Good thing I didn't bet it. And then lastly, you got your boy Aaron Judge. He's the man. Just hit his 55th. Definitely on his way to breaking Roger Maris's Yankee record, 61 home runs in 1961. So it'd be great to see it. He's a good dude. Everybody in the New York area loves him. So all rise. All right.
Jesus.
That's what they say. All rise for Judge.
Okay.
Not let's ride. All rise.
Let's ride is more fun.
All rise. So what we're going to do is actually each week we're going to give you a little bit of breakdown of what we bet on the week before, how we did, and so on. I think it'll be a lot more clear now when we're going through the NFL, what we're betting and stuff like that. But we also will put in blackjack wins and losses, whatever we're doing, the tables, and any other things we're betting on. So for this last week, it was just college football, which is a big college football weekend.
Hell yeah, college football's on. Saturdays, you got something to do now.
Yeah. So if you follow our Instagram page, in the comments of one of the things we were talking about getting ready for the weekend, Johnny Newberger was telling us about this Colorado-Michigan game, first half under. And in the comments, we said, hey, we'll follow you on that bet. We liked it, so we did it. That was a winner. Again, on our own post, we had Oregon at Georgia, first half over 27.5. We posted that for everybody just so, if you're in the betting world and you want to get involved. That was a winner.
That was just a feeling, by the way, and it was a really good feeling.
Yeah. And they it wasn't like it was an easy one. They needed a touchdown.
It didn't look good for a little bit, but when you got that feeling, you don't care when it happens, as long as it happens.
Yeah, they covered by. It wasn't like they just covered by the half a point to get to the 28. They actually hit it by 3 more than that. But it was questionable whether or not they were going to get a field goal or a touchdown at the end. So they ended up getting a touchdown. So that was great. That was a winner. And then we live bet Notre Dame at Ohio State. That was plus 14.5. So. Again, one of these things where you're in the game, you feel momentum, and you're saying, hey, I think Notre Dame can keep us a lot closer. But because of the scores, they're plus 14.5 live. Boom, ticket as a winner. And that was, think about the weekend, all of a sudden it's Monday, and then the only game's on, it's Clemson and Georgia Tech.
You're very hungover.
You're
but
hungover.
You still want to bet.
You're on the couch. Are we betting this game? I'm not sure Christine stayed awake for the whole thing.
I definitely did not.
No.
I saw the beginning.
Yeah, it was the end of a wild summer, so it was definitely a little bit of sleep that was needed, and it didn't really work out. So, you gotta love that, right? Anyway,
Figured out how to use sound effects, people, so you're gonna hear
got
them
'em.
now.
got him.
All right, so this one I kind of wanted to come up with very quickly. I'll move on very fast, but I know because we have some wonderful friends and supporters who are the ladies out there that have no idea about betting and no idea about football, but you're listening because you just kind of want to see the two of us talk to each other because you miss us so much. I did want to explain a little bit about what the heck it is that we're talking about and try to get you involved in this whole betting game for sports. Now, I know not everybody grew up in Buffalo where all you do is watch football and hockey because that is your life. And then you're a little infant and you learn all about those sports. However, for the rest of the world, there are a bunch of reasons why to bet, but I picked out like just 3. I think they're really important. So a lot of us are married or we're in, have significant other relationships with people who love football or sports, and you have those times where they're like, oh, I want to watch the Mets game, I want to blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is that they want, you can actually have a good time if you put a little money on the game. And I'm going to show you 2 simple ways to bet.
Don't bet the month's rent, by the way.
Yes, no, we're talking small bets, okay? Just start off quiet. He made a lot more money than I did being a teacher. I only put little chunks down because I had more to lose. But like I said, you can hang out if everybody's hanging out on Sunday, or you were a girl that's a friend with a bunch of boys and guys, and they're like, we're going to watch a football game today. Do you want to come out? And you kind of want to get involved because it's a lot of time that you're putting into it. This is an easy way to get involved in some way, shape, or form. And that is with these 2 moves, okay? I would only suggest looking at these 2 for now because the other stuff is a little more complicated and you kind of do need to know a little more information. So you first have the money line. Money line, very simple. Who's going to win? You're saying, I'm using the Bills-Rams game, obviously, because I'm pumped to go watch this game today. But it's also pretty cut and dry. Bills versus Rams. You don't know much about anything. Maybe you're a friend of mine. You're just like, I want the Bills to win because Christine wants the Bills to win. Or I love Josh Allen, whatever. You heard of a quarterback's name before. Maybe it's because they're the good team, the better team. You can easily put your money on money line. That just means who's going to win. The only little caveat to that is how much you will win after you place your bet. So when the Bills win today, because they are, I want to say favored, they are more likely to win than the Rams are. I don't know, like that's crazy. We're playing in LA where the Rams are. Rams just, played in the Super Bowl last February. But Bills are favored, so therefore you're going to make a little less money. So if you put $100 on the Bills, you're going to get 135 back.
The opposite. So if you put 135 on the Bills,
I'm sorry.
You're going to get 100 back.
You're going to get 100 back.
Which I just did, by the way, and I have my ticket right here from the Cosmo. $675 to win 500. Let's do it.
He's very good at betting the Bills. I never bet the Bills because, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to jinx it. That's the one team I will not bet on. So then, obviously, if you you could put the same amount of money on the Rams, you're going to actually win more money.
So you put 100 on the Rams, you win 115. You get more.
Right, because they're like less likely to win. So you put $25 down. All you care about is if the Bills win, because you put $25 on the Bills money line, you're going to get more than $25 back. And now you have something to root for. Like, let's go Bills, because you won a few bucks. Fun, easy. The other way is over-under. Again, very simple to understand. The over is that the score the most amount of points that they can. The under is less than the quoted amount of points, and I'll get to that with this example. So Bills versus Rams, again, the over-under is 53 points. So basically what they're saying is that between both teams scoring by the end of the game, it's going to either be more than 53 points or under 13 points, less than 53 points. I don't know where 13 is coming from. I'm sorry. So like for example, today, 53 points is a lot. They're 2 good teams with 2 good defenses. They both have really good offenses. But let's say you wanted to take the Bills, you wanted to take the over because you think it's just going to be a lot of scoring. Then you put your money on the over, and if the 2 scores at the end of the game between both teams comes out to more than 53 points, you win that money. If it comes out to less than 53 points and you put up the under, then you win. Now, my motto, though, is life is too short to bet the under because no one wants to cheer for nothing to happen. These clowns, they love it. just because they want to make money. I'm here to cheer for something. So I never really bet the under. I will just ignore it. If I think it's the over, though, that means you're just like, let's go, team. Everybody score. Who cares? I just want the most amount of points. So those are the two easiest ways to start betting and to get you kind of involved in the game. And then maybe now you'll be more apt to participate in like Sunday Fun Day with football or college football Saturdays. These rules apply to all sports. So.
Yeah, it's funny. Like if you think about, like, let's say you're a girl, you go on a first date with a guy, and there's sports on. What do you think about the Mets, or what do you think about the Jet game? What do you think about this? And you just come out with, instead of saying I think the Jets going to win, you say, oh, Jets money line all day. The guy's gonna be like, oh, okay, she likes to gamble a little bit. She gets it,
Because that's why we're here. We're just here to impress you guys.
Unfortunately, guys want to be like, hey, that's a chick that actually goes out and likes sports, likes to have fun, likes to gamble, and
I'm really talking about like those of you that already have significant others. You're married. You're like, come on, I would love to watch a game with him, but I have no idea what's going on. It's boring because I've heard that a million times. Give these two things a shot. You might find some enjoyment out of it.
I'm talking about the single ladies. Hey, Erica, we see you out there.
Yes, actually, he's right. All right, Erica, take it up. All right, that's it.
Now we're gonna go through we're gonna walk through real quickly all the different games that are going on, where the spreads are at, and then we'll tell you who we're leaning and where we're gonna bet. But then also at the end, we're gonna show you. We're not going to bet every single game, right? Nobody should ever do that. You got to pick out the couple games you think are the winners, right? And then bet them. So we're going to show you at the end, here's the exact bets we're making. What's my lock of the week? What's Christine's lock of the week?
Yeah.
And, and just let everybody know what we're thinking about these spreads. So first, everybody who listened last time, we went over this game just because we're not sure when we're going to release this. If we're going to release it today before the Bills-Rams game or if after. But you all know we're on the Bills money line. So
Bills Mafia, let's go. Let's go.
That's it.
Very
excited. We won't go too much into that. But, yeah, a lot of points. So we'll see what happens on the under-over. Could be.
By the way, this changed to 53 today.
Yeah, so we put this up, all the lines are constantly changing for everybody who doesn't know that. So through the week, now it's not like horse racing, where horse racing, you bet a horse and his odds can change, and your bet is the odds are whatever it is when it goes off, when the race goes off. For NFL, you could lock in whatever the line is at that given point in time. You lock in that bet. So what happens is the books, the sports books at all the different casinos, they have to adjust the lines based on how much money is coming in. So if money's coming in one way, all the books really want to do is they want half the people to bet one way, half the people to bet the other way, and they take the vig, or the vigorish, which basically means they're taking a little commission based on being like a broker or the middleman. I mean, the reality is sometimes the casinos take a view, and they actually will have a lot more money on one game or the other, and they care about the outcome. But so anyway,
Josh knows big words.
Yeah,
vigorish.
That's an old word. It's from like year 300.
Big word.
So anyway, they will move the lines constantly. So some of the lines we're going to have on the screen might have already changed, and we'll talk about a few of the major ones. But yeah, like she said, it was 52.5. And then the spread we just saw, I was looking at Circa. So this was based off of Caesar odds that we put together a couple days ago. At Circa, I think it's 2. Bills 2.
Spread right is now 2. Over under is 53. So
yeah,
that changed. But that's not a big deal for the over under, at least. That's not a game changer.
All right, next one. Eagles at the Lions. I'm leaning. I'm betting. I'm betting on the Eagles. So I think
because John Newberger told him to.
No. He wants it too, but
he wants it to.
But yeah, like I think people get caught up in. I watch TV. I feel like I know these guys. She was thinking the same thing. It's like,
I want the Lions, but I'm not going to because he's taking the Eagles.
But at the end of the day, what happens is the public moves the line. So the books set the line. The public goes in. I love Dan Campbell, or I love
Dan Campbell.
I love Hutchinson. He's got that nice blonde hair. And then they bet on the Lions, and then the spread actually probably should be a little bit more. So I think Eagles betting it, going for it. Under-over is probably a little bit higher than I would expect for these teams, but let's see what the Eagles can do. A.J. Brown.
I'm just going to cut you off. I do believe that the Eagles are going to cover their spread, but again, emotionally, Dan Campbell and the Lions just because Hard Knocks, come on. You always want to root for them just for the first game, and then you can move on with your life.
Last week, Christine called him a Neanderthal of a man, and it was in a positive way. So
Right.
usually it's viewed as a negative context, but no, Christine was like, this Neanderthal of a man, I want to play for him. So I get it.
He's a good guy.
Next one, Colts at Texans. So, we've said it before. We don't think the Texans are good, and the Colts have a good roster, solid. They have Matt Ryan now, and I just think that even though it's going to the Texans, that the Colts are still going to cover that 7 points. My guess is this game is 24-10 and probably hits the under.
That's what I was going to say. I would do the under on this one. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that exciting, but definitely Colts favored.
Yeah, and I definitely want to put money there too. Jags Commanders. So will Edie Falco do it? Will Trevor Lawrence do it? People talk about this. Quarterbacks that are going into their second year, it's either you make the jump and you are now going to be in the league for a while because you get it, right? It's all clicking, everything's in your head.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, 2 training camps, you're in it. Josh Allen was a guy, definitely made that second year move. But then there's other guys that don't make the moves, Sam Darnold and these types of guys. So
Typically, if you start for the Jets as a rookie, and you go.
you're kind of damned. It's kind of
sucks.
For those of you who don't understand how the draft goes, the worst team gets the first pick. The first couple picks, you're the best player, and you're going to the shittiest team. So you're almost cursed by it a little bit. Now, Peyton Manning did it, so you can get through all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, somebody like a Lamar Jackson, he falls down to the middle of the pack from a quarterback standpoint, and then he goes to a good Ravens team and ends up taking the job from Joe Flacco. So there's one of these things where some of these guys might have been good if they just went to a better franchise or better coaching and stuff. But we'll see what happens with Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they just have they have a big draft pick that they had because they were shit last year, who was an edge rusher, and he's really good. So we feel like they got a shot here. I'd probably personally stay away from it this whole game. I don't know what. Oh, the other thing to say about the Jaguars, Doug Peterson, he's a Super Bowl winning coach. They just switched from Urban Meyer, who was everybody knows he was dancing with probably 19-year-old girls at a college bar and not doing the right thing there.
Dear God.
Yeah, not the best. So it didn't seem like he was taking it too seriously. But Doug Peterson's going to have his guys prepared. But they're going to Washington. You still got Carson Wentz. He's still okay. I would stay away from the game, but 2.5 points, up to you. So this is the one where a spread moved. So this initial spread was 2.5. So you had the Panthers at home minus 2.5 points. Right now it's a pick'em.
Yeah.
So basically, for anybody who doesn't know that term, pick'em just means there's no spread. I mean, either team can win. 50-50 either way. So it means a money line bet is the same as a bet with a spread.
For the ladies, this is where you just pick the pretty colors that you like. Give it a shot.
Those colors, though. Brown is not a pretty color?
No, I'm pretty sure if you're going to pick colors, you're going Panthers. Gotta love that teal, blue, and black. Ooh.
Side note, Browns, you know what they're named after?
Oh, my God. Yes. Go ahead.
The color brown? No, they're named after their coach. The initial coach, his name was Paul Brown. Can you believe that they named a whole team after you? I want to be maybe have a bad name, so it doesn't work. But I think this is a Baker revenge game. I think the Panthers actually, I think they're going to whoop up on them. Baker's a very emotional dude, and he's pumped right now.
He's got something to prove, man, and I hope he proves it because I love his commercials, and he needs to continue doing those commercials.
Yeah, I think he's going to do it. So it'd be nice. They're at home too, so I feel like this is going to be a game where they're going to win by 10.
Ooh. Patriots, Dolphins. We're going to make lots of enemies. Well, I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with taking the Patriots for the spread.
Yeah, so
They
division games are tough, right? That's always a thing. I'm just saying, you'll have a shit team, like the Jets will play the Patriots late in the season, and the Jets are terrible, and then they'll give them a run for their money. So it's like one of those things where division game.
But anyways,
yeah,
this guy talks all the time. He
Always
doesn't be quiet. So Dolphins, listen, this is a little bit of just a hatred. I mean, I hate all these two teams. The Jets are not a problem for me right now. So we used to have, we used to bicker because we were both crap teams together. Not anymore. I'm honestly, the Patriots team is pretty set up. They're pretty strong on their own. They beat us once last year. We obviously beat them in a blowout game at the end for to make it into the playoffs. It was fantastic. Dolphins, though, you've got Tua. Yes, he's throwing to Tyreek Hill, but so far it doesn't seem like he's actually making it to Tyreek Hill. He's just throwing. I don't have a lot of faith in that. They also have all this garbage around them. Josh does like their owner, right? Or coach. No, owner.
No, the owner, Stephen Ross, he was the one that got involved with trying to tell the last coach to throw.
Oh, right.
games
He
and stuff
can't
like
even be. Yeah, he's not involved. It's the coach, the little dweeby guy.
that. Little
dweeby guy.
The guy who we were talking about last time, saying how could you play for this guy? But he's a smart offensive mind.
Yes.
So I feel like Tua, you got Jalen Waddle, you got Tyreek. I feel like they have a few guys where initially, at least, because when you have a new coach and stuff like that, when you get to see him, you get the game plan against him next time. The first game, this is why the first week, by the way,
it's very hard.
It's the hardest to do, and the spreads are always off, and you have a little bit of opportunity, but at the same time, it's harder to pick the games. So this one's a tough one for me, but I don't know what the coach can actually put together with them, and he might do something, but Mac Jones has been solid, right?
Right. So I'm taking the Patriots. I mean, plus 3.5. That means they can still lose by field goal,
yeah.
and still I'll still make money. So I'm taking them. All right.
Yeah. I mean, how many times the Patriots getting points
is
in a division,
very rare.
A division game.
Very rare.
And this many over a field goal. Mac Jones was a Pro Bowler last year, but next one. So people may laugh. Okay.
I'm laughing.
Got the jersey on. Everybody knows about you got to have the jersey on.
Oh, the New Jersey Jets. That's perfect.
That's why I got the jersey on. Yeah. Jets, they're underdogs by 7 points, and they're at home. Now, I love home underdogs, first of all, and then those are my boys. I got to bet them. The one thing that does suck, though, which I just found out, so earlier in the camp, Mekhi Becton went down. Now that's what's supposed to be our left tackle, the future of our line. What DeBrickashaw Ferguson was for us for a long time. That's where he was supposed to be. He got hurt. They went out and signed Dwayne Brown, who was a Pro Bowler, multiple-time Pro Bowler. He was at Seattle. They signed him, and then we just find out today that he's got a shoulder problem. I don't think he's going to be playing. That sucks.
Zach Wilson's not playing.
Yeah, so Zach Wilson, they also announced this week, since the last podcast we released, that he's not playing probably till at least week 4.
Which is crap. I'd just like to say, they made it seem like he was playing up until yesterday, and then all of a sudden yesterday is like, oh, he might not play till week 4. What is that?
I think they knew it already, and that's part of the coaching thing where I'm going to make the other team, I'm going to make the Ravens prepare for either Flacco or Wilson, even though they know Wilson's not going to play. But I think this is a Joe Flacco revenge game, and I think he's actually supposedly he's looked really sharp in camp. Really sharp in camp, and him, going against the Ravens, I feel like he would really love to get this win. And I know those pregame speeches where they're going to be like, "Do this for Joe, do it for Flacco" and stuff. I feel like this is one where I'm going to take the Jets with the 7 points. Look, maybe they lose by a field goal like you were talking about with the Patriots, but at least you get.
That's true. However, if you want to listen to real advice, I would have taken the Ravens in a heartbeat, but then I'd be going against him, and that's just wrong.
Yeah,
so
we can't be betting against each other here. It's not going to make net money.
Yeah, we can't make net. So that's all I
She's
say.
a Jets hater, though, so.
Wow, I'm smart.
All right, Saints Falcons. So I don't know what spread you would have put here that would have made me want to bet on the Falcons.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Saints. You got her. I mean, they're just a better team. We just set up as a better team, right?
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing to say there.
Also, New Orleans. Who wants to ever go against New Orleans? Fantastic place.
And then you got 42.5 points. That's such a low under-over. And I'm sitting there looking at going, hey, maybe I should actually take the over. But like, what if New Orleans just wins 35-0?
Right. They're going to just
hit the over.
quiet down a little bit.
Yeah. So we'll see what Mariota has. I mean, it's in Atlanta. This has been this 1 week here. I think that's the most home underdogs that I've ever seen. I think you usually get like 2 times in a season where the home team is going to be. 2 times in a weekend, the home team is going to be an underdog. And this one's got like 7 7 different games you have the home team as an underdog. So, but this is another one where I take the people coming to town. So when the Saints come marching in, we'll see what happens.
Jesus. Told you figured out how to do these little sound effects.
That's right. Steelers Bengals. Right. So
This one's a toughie.
it's a tough one. Again, division game. That's a tough one.
Super Bowl champs.
No, not Super Bowl champs. Super Bowl losers.
Super Bowl losers.
Yeah.
I meant to say Super Bowl.
Oh, I mean, in all fairness, we did party at
That
Circa.
day was a big blur. However, the halftime show, definitely remember that. That was a good one.
That's where it started to get a little gray.
Don't stand out in the sun too long, drinking alcohol all day long, people. That's
If anybody goes to Las Vegas and you want to watch a football game, the weather's still nice. Go to Circa Stadium Swim. It's the best place, I think, set up to watch a football game in the world. I'd much rather be there than be at the actual Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
So
The Bills are in the Super Bowl this year. We will be at Stadium Swim watching them just because it's who doesn't want to stand in a pool watching giant football screen.
And a DJ, and the pools are heated 365 days. So if it's 68 out, whatever, get in the pool. We're good. Okay. So we were there, and it started to get a little blurry. So that's why Christine thought they might have been a champ. But,
I think I wanted them to win.
Exactly. Oh, thank you. I mean, we bet on them.
Yeah, I
we
did
bet
want
on
them to win. But
yeah, we lost on that one. But
that was
Steelers, so the division game, a little tricky, but it's at home at the Bengals. You got to imagine that the Bengals are going to win this one by probably 7. Trubisky's going over there. He's got something to prove. Mike Tomlin, as much as he's had Ben Roethlisberger for a lot of his career, whatever, never had a losing season, ever.
Well, also, Trubisky played for the Bills last year. He learned a lot. I mean, I'm rooting for Trubisky. Again, not enough to be a problem, but, go ahead, show him what you got, show him what we taught you. And like he said, Tomlin is a good coach. So I don't know if I would go for – I might go for Steelers. But again, I stayed away from this game because I was torn.
Yeah, there's a couple things there, but I think that with Trubisky at the Bills, Brian Dable, who is now head coach of the Giants, one of the things they said about Trubisky when he was in Chicago, overthinking things. And if anybody looks at the way Josh Allen plays, right, he's not overthinking. He's just playing football like we're in the backyard, right? That's what he does, and that's what I think Dable was trying to bring out of Trubisky too. It's just like, just play the game. Don't overthink it. And I think that if he's, kind of learned a little bit, like you said, then I think that they have a shot there. So, under over looks a little bit interesting there at 44.5. But sometimes these division games, they're tricky. So we'll see. Next one. San Fran at the Bears. So we're in with our boy Monkey in a survivor pool at Circa that we were talking about. They have a survivor pool where the winner gets like $6 million. So we have a couple entries in that one.
We'll stop doing this podcast once we win that.
Oh, or we're just going to sell these bets that we're giving you for free, right?
Oh, yeah.
So San Fran, though, I mean, I think they're a better team. This is one where, they're favored by 7, and I think that we're going to use them as one of the picks in our survivor pool. One thing that sucks, though, is we just found out this week that George Kittle, one of the best tight ends in the whole league, is out with a groin injury. I think he's going to be out for the game, but that kind of sucks for them. But they're just a much better roster, better coached team than the Bears, and I'd go with them.
Poor Bears, they haven't. They've been struggling for the last few years.
I think this one's a San Fran bet. What do you think?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sorry, Jimmy.
So this one, KC Cardinals. Keep in mind here, I think the spread is the way it is because, look, it's at Arizona. The spread's got to be the way it is because DeAndre's not in. He's
I hate you, DeAndre.
Yeah, we all thought. I mean, he's probably one of the best receivers in the league, but is it because he was on that juice though? The juice doesn't help him with his 14-inch hands that are
and his ability to get 150 feet off the ground to catch a Bills ball.
Yeah, that might have helped.
Then I'd like to do that over again.
Yeah.
Get a redo on that one.
So they think this is going to be a shootout though. They got the under over high, 53.5. I think it might be moving to 52, 53, something like that. But at the end of the day, you got to think the Chiefs are probably going to win this one when Arizona doesn't have DeAndre. Again, this is another time where we want to bet on the team that's away, that's going into Arizona, even though and they're favored.
Also, pay attention to the way Mahomes walks. That's all I'm going to say. It's
Not good. Okay. So, Green Bay Vikings. So, it's in Minnesota.
Aaron Rodgers is the most boring human being in the world, guys. He's very good at what he does, but boring.
Yes,
hard to
but he's
root for him.
MVP, and I think they're going to be they're good again.
They're going to be a good team, yeah.
You got LaFleur over there. Who's
very shocked at the spread being 1.5 only. I mean, maybe explain this to me because
people.
It's so low.
I was watching NFL Network. They were talking about I forget who it was that was saying it, but they're like, I have Kirk Cousins as MVP and the Vikings going to the Super Bowl. And I don't know if there's somebody that maybe there's a prop I could do to try to actually bet against that, because I would probably bet everything I had that those two things happening.
Those two statements
will not happen. That is false. So again, I got to go Packers. Green Bay.
Stupid Rodgers.
There's no giant purple people eaters over there. And what do they do? They do this big clap. Remember that?
Is that like the Gators?
No, well, it's kind of like that. It's just these people that are like these old Viking things. Wow. It's called, I don't even know.
Next, who cares?
Yeah, in the stadium, and they're going to frighten everybody with a clap. I'm not sure about that.
Okay, this one I like, the Raiders at Chargers. One, we're here in Vegas. I have to at least be rooting for the Raiders. I'm going on this one with the spread, I believe. Just because it's fun. Got to get with your people, the people around you. If they're having a good time, I want to have a good time. And it's so close. It's kind of almost a pick 'em. You see the money line difference is not that huge. If not, I would suggest the over, just because, again, you want to cheer for something. And, we're in Vegas. You got to show a little love to the town that you live in.
Yeah, this is the first game that Derek Carr and Devontae Adams are going to be playing with each other. Since college. So it's going to be pretty exciting. They're on the road, though, to a Charger team that, again, I mentioned it last time, I think is going to be one of the top teams in the league. But I think the Raiders are also underrated here.
Yes.
So they're not traveling far, right? It's a stone's throw away. And yeah, we're going to go. We're going to go to the bars in Vegas, and we're going to go watch the game.
Yay, Chargers.
Yay, Chargers. No. Not happening. No way. So
that that's what we're gonna always do. We will, but I think in this first game, definitely want to give it to the Raiders.
Did you get this? There was apparently there's like a Sports Illustrated article that came out, or they're putting it out now, about Derek Carr and Devontae Adams, the bond that they built in college. Now it's not what you're thinking. They weren't roommates. It wasn't kind of weird, wrestling situation. But it was about a whitewater rafting, and they said they almost died whitewater rafting, and that got them to bond because they both thought we were going to die. They got thrown off the raft and they were in the water and something. By the way, this is the same point at which they were already projected to be drafted high, and they're doing whitewater rafting. Mm-hmm. If I'm an agent, I'm like, don't do that.
Don't do this.
Do not do that. That's a bad idea. So anyway, fun little side note story there. But yeah, I think we're gonna go Raiders. I think the Chargers, though, will be a tough team to beat this year.
Oh yeah, just probably not this first game.
I think they're both tough. Division game also. So Chargers -3 at home basically means they're both similar.
Ooh, all right. Well, first of all, Titans. Oh, Mr. Henry, you've caused me so much pain. Fantastic person, just crushes everybody. I hate you to the core for that. And the New York Giants, you got my boy, but...
Yeah, Danny Dimes is starting.
Yeah,
I think that's... So it's a tougher one. I think, Titans without A.J. Brown, that's going to make them a little bit worse. But whenever you have Derrick Henry in the backfield, the guy looks like a linebacker. If anybody's ever played defense and thinks about the person they don't want to see running at them that they have to tackle, it's Derrick Henry.
It's Derrick Henry. Of the entire league, it is Derrick Henry, nobody else.
So that's a tough one. And they're in Tennessee. I personally believe this is a Tennessee win by covering 2, probably winning by a touchdown to 10 points. So I would go with my money on that one. Small under over, I get it.
Yeah,
But
it's really
let's-
going to be Titans scoring and the Giants maybe kicking a couple field goals.
The one thing is, though,
Hopefully not, guys, for all you Giants fans.
Brian Dable,
Right.
How important was he to the Bills' success?
I know.
I don't know.
I hope he fails
Right.
because screw you, man. You were great for us. What the heck?
I also think that you get a free pass on your first year, so build your roster up, do all
Yeah.
the right things, do the get coach up the young guys and so on. But I don't think you really need to win right now. It's not like there's a lot of pressure to win right now for the Giants. So let's see what happens. I think that Tennessee is the winner. I'd say probably by 10. This is a tough one.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Like it.
the Bucs have Tom Brady. He's going through some shit right now. I'm really hoping that mentally affects his psyche, and the spread is very small. So I'm definitely going with the Cowboys. Prescott's back. He hasn't been back in a long time. He's got something to prove now because he's been gone and we forgot about him. Show us who you are, sir. Definitely Cowboys 2.5.
Yeah, I'm definitely betting the Cowboys as well. I think, the Bucs, Tom Brady. As much as you could talk about distractions and so on, it's how hard has this guy's life been? How many Super Bowls are you gonna win? You got the model wife. And all
Also,
that
we
stuff.
forgot Gronkowski, no
Yeah,
longer
not
somebody
there.
on his team. That clown's from Buffalo, New York. Never once played for the Bills.
So.
But he is just like all of us Buffalonians, fun as hell to hang out with. So now, yes, so he's got shit going on. He's in his head, and he doesn't have his little Gronky to throw to. So this, I think, may tremendously affect him. He hasn't been to a lot of practices during the offseason. Going Cowboys, they deserve it. Dak Prescott, let's go.
Yeah, and one last note on the Bucs side, Bruce Arians left and retired and turned the team over to Todd Bowles.
And he's just in the office now, which was very strange.
But Bruce Arians used to call plays, right? Play calling is an important part. Supposedly, though, they were saying that Todd Bowles, because he's a defensive coach, and he did a pretty good job on defense for the Jets when he was there as the head coach. But it was again shitty organization and so on. So, as a defensive coach, I heard that he might even be giving more influence to Tom Brady, where he can call plays at the line, check out of things, and so on. But that's actually a little bit of a TBD. But you're going to go to the Cowboys. I don't know how big their stadium is. It's bigger than probably any NFL stadium in terms of amount of fans that are in there. Mm-hmm. It's a tough place to play. I think it's Cowboys, so I'm betting it. Next game, another tough game. Or is
Let's
it?
ride.
It's really not a tough game.
No.
We think, look, we talked about it earlier, Russell Wilson, he got his deal.
He better prove it that he's worth that money.
Let's get the stress off, play a relaxed game against a shitty Seahawks team. Watch the likes of Geno and Drew Lock flounder.
Oh, wait, no, they claim that they have 2 number 1 quarterbacks who happen to be Geno
And Drew Lock.
So you pretty much have half a quarterback and half a quarterback. That just makes 1 quarterback, but you split.
I don't think that's even though the math says 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. I think 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1/2 because you're still a shitty quarterback.
Right.
So it
Okay.
doesn't matter which one you play.
Yeah.
I think that they go in there. They're a stacked Broncos team, and I think that they're a tough one to beat this year too. So for us, I think this is a winning by 2 touchdowns game. And it's not like this is like a winner.
Yeah. Let's ride.
So what are we actually betting, right? So there's a lot of games we talked about. Bills money line today, and depending on when
Let's
we
go
release
Buffalo. It's Miller time.
Miller time. Von Miller, what could he do? He's going to get a little strip sack on your boy? I don't know.
Yeah, let's go.
So next one. Eagles -4 versus the Lions. Again, I'm betting it. Christine's holding off. If there was a column,
Because of Dan Campbell.
she would be betting against me, by the way.
Right, that's and this
but
one I would also bet against
Yeah.
him, so I nixed that.
This is real life, folks. Okay, this is not a coordinated thing. We're showing you a little bit of an argument that we had. Well, I don't understand which team's better. Well, I'm betting on both those games. She's going to hold off. She probably would.
That's how you keep a relationship going for 20 years. You say, fine, whatever you want.
And look, do I know that I'm not only risking money by betting them, but I'm also risking the I told you so? Yes.
Oh, the I told you so is going to be so good.
I'd probably like pay to not have the I told you so.
Though there will be a dance, especially if it's both of them where I told you so. There's going to be a dance.
True. So these are going from 1 o'clock games to 4 o'clock games to the night games to Monday night. So let's go.
So I'm sticking with the Patriots. I made that clear. I think, Dolphins aren't going to be as good as the hype. Chargers, Raiders, we're both taking that because we already explained we're taking the over we decided on instead of taking the spread. And then my lock of the week is the Cowboys versus the Bucs. Screw you, Tom Brady, and screw your feelings.
Yeah, I'm there total. I'm there also. I like it a lot. It's just my lock. I mean, we both have been in these last 2 games, but my lock just happens to be the Broncos against the Seahawks. And it's really more about the Seahawks being bad than it is about the Broncos being good. And they're actually good too. So I think these last 2 are winners. I mean, and she's got the lock on one. I got the lock on the other one. And that's it, folks. I mean, that's how we're thinking about this whole week. And I think we're coming out of the back of this week. And you can mark my words. This is going to be a profitable weekend. And we're going to live bet things too. Momentum shifts, whatever. We'll add more money.
We need it to be profitable because we have no jobs and we are now here in Vegas. So we need money and make that money.
Yeah. So that's it, everybody. We're going to come up with some new different segments and things going forward. We might have Gonzo on the street. Shout out to Gonzo. And we might do a few other different things and keep it exciting for everybody. But
Don't forget to subscribe, though.
Yeah,
it'll tell you about our new episodes, and it just helps us out knowing.
And then one thing I would say too is we have a couple different platforms, right? So now it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, and it's on Apple Podcasts. If you're gonna watch them on one and not the other ones, if you can go to the other ones and subscribe too, it would just help us out just to get the subscribers up to make sure that people know that we're winning money over here, folks. Right? That's what we're gonna do. Or
we lose.
But we're going to be here and you can make fun of us. And we're going to tell you everything we're betting because we're not trying to hide it and show you the one bet we made. No. This is real stuff. We're giving it out for free so you can see and come along for the ride with us. And that's where it's at. So let's kick in some outro music. Let's do it.
Go Buffalo!
Go Bills money line.
I want to make money. I'm calling it better.
Cheers.
Cheers.